One of the topics that we've talked a lot about in class, and also that you'll hear a lot in terms of marketing in general, is promotion. Promotions seem to be what a lot of marketing is about in terms of how can we find ways for people to be aware of our product or services, and how can we adequately promote that product or service. I think promotional strategy also applies to my dream job, which is to work at JP Morgan Chase and Company. Um, Although I believe that JP Morgan Chase, for the most part, is a really well-run company that I'd like to be a part of, one of the things that I have noticed about them is their lack of promotion or their incentive to promote their product. For me, if I was working there, two business recommendations that I would give in terms of better promoting their product would be to be more engaged on social media like TikTok, Instagram, and more so people can see what your business is about and what people are doing, and also finding ways to be promoted through Google search. So for the first business recommendation, I would say being involved more in social media like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and more would be really beneficial for not only JP Morgan and Chase, but their customer base as well. Now, when you say promote your business on social media, there's a lot of different ways that you can promote it. For example, what I've seen a lot of recently in terms of businesses using TikTok is they'll have an employee basically do a day in the life of my job TikTok, where they'll go over, here's what I do when I wake up, here's what I do to get to work, here's what my actual work is, here's what my meetings look like, here's what lunch looks like, end of day before I have to go work, and then I leave. And it's gotten really popular on avenues like TikTok and Instagram because it lets people get a firsthand look, or at least what they think is a firsthand look, in terms of how these businesses are run. I think having this be an option for JP Morgan and Chase employees would be really good because it's a way for people to be engaged in a topic that they probably wouldn't necessarily be in. Like, I'm pretty sure for the most part, people, when they think of like watching a video from JP Morgan and Chase, they're going to be like, oh, it's probably going to be some boring financial advice slash investment video. But if you turn it into something fun or something interesting, you can get a lot of outside eyeballs that wouldn't necessarily be into your services look at it, and then maybe they can promote it or be like, hey, look at this that I found really fun or interesting. And then that way you have more people aware of your product or service. Another thing that making a video like that does is, for a lot of prospective interns or people who may want to work for your company, it can give them an idea in terms of like, okay, this is what my actual work looks like, and this looks like a good business environment. Another way that they can be more involved in terms of promoting on social media channels is to really show off what they do as a business. For the most part, when I see promotions for JP Morgan Chase, it's pretty much exclusively the Chase side of things, and it's primarily through stuff like television, radio, and other traditional media. And they'll usually employ a lot of well-known celebrities. For example, right now they're doing a promotional campaign with Kevin Hart going over everything that he does with his Chase card. Although I feel like Kevin Hart is a really recognizable celebrity and a lot of people know him, I think to get into the younger generations um, side of things, I think you should look more towards potential influencers or other people on YouTube or TikTok to kind of promote your service or business. I think doing this would be good because it gives a lot of younger people who may not have chosen what bank that they go to or what investment strategy or investment business that they use. It can give them a firsthand look in terms of, here's someone that I like promoting the product. I'll look into it more, rather than if it was just some random celebrity that your parents talk about but you don't really care about. Another business recommendation that I would give JP Morgan Chase in terms of promotions would be better optimizing Google's search engine to be constantly at the top of people's search recommendation. For example, before I started this, I looked up banks near me, and for my results, I had to go like all the way down to like the eighth recommendation to get Chase Bank. I think if they really want to be heavily or more well known in terms of search, what they should do is stuff like optimizing keywords. So like banks near me, have it that be try to have that be the top option. Like what are good banks? Try to have that be promoted in terms of the search engine. And I think you can do other stuff as well with the continued push for more mobile search and for voice search. So then that way, when people are using their voice search or their mobile search, they're also finding JP Morgan and Chase more often. And I think for them, that's going to be a lot of what I said in terms of optimizing keywords, but also finding like, here's what we want to promote about our business, or like, here's what we think a lot of people are going to be searching up in general that may be related to either banking advice or investment advice that we could have be promoted in terms of search engine. And I think that this would be good because it gives obviously JP Morgan and Chase the top options in terms of search, so people's eyeballs are going to be immediately going that way. And I think it would be good for consumers as well because then they can really see, okay, so I search banks near me. Here's a bank that I know, and I know that they're really big and trustworthy, so I'll go look at them. Or you look up something else related in terms of investment strategies or investment banks, and it pops up there, and it's like, okay, I'm obviously going to look at this first because it's the first one that popped up. I think implementing these two business strategies would be good for promotions, and it's something that JP Morgan and Chase really lacks right now. And I think having a better promotional strategy will be good for not only their business, but for consumer awareness of them as a brand as well.